Okay, today we're making a lion mask. As you can see, I've made some earlier. This one was made with a paper plate, and this one's just simply made of card, and you can make it out of paper as well. With this one we had some crepe paper hanging around, so you can use that, and we go for yellow, red and orange. I didn't have crepe paper in the orange, so I used just paper, and with this one we just had paper. It's good to have card ears, but again you can use paper. There you'll see at the back I've made some here. If you've got yellow card or yellow paper, obviously you can use that, but I've used a Sharpie pen because I haven't got yellow paper. So you need card or a plate. You need cut up bits of paper. I had these from another project, so, and you need yellow, red and orange. And then I've got this bowl here, so to drawing out a shape. And all these things here, we'll need glue to stick on the bits of paper. Staple if you want to get the ears on, but obviously you could use sellotape or glue. You might want to use a hole punch. I used a hole punch on the card. I found that easier to get the string on the back to put around the head, but you could also just use a staple. And you'll need a black pen for drawing the face, and obviously we'll need scissors to cut out the eyes and a mouth if you want to have a mouth. And this sponge is just to protect your fingers as you use the scissors and punch a hole to get the holes in the plate or the card, and obviously a pencil to draw around. So I'm going to actually use the card on this occasion, so I'm going to move all these things out of the way so we can see what we're doing. I don't need all of that at the moment, and so all I need is my bits of paper. I don't want that one, but you can obviously use a plate. And I've drawn around a piece of card with a bowl already. So here's my card ready to go. And as I say, if you use a sponge, what I find easier is to draw the eyes. Obviously make sure they're in the right position for the person who's going to be wearing them. About like that on the mask. I find it easier to draw it first. And where the sponge comes in is put it out the back, then you can poke a hole like that, and then draw around like that. And you cut those eyes out and make sure they're the right size for the person who's going to wear them. I'm not actually, I think you could probably do a better job than this than me, but it works. You go around, and that's the first thing you do, either on a plate or on a piece of card. You basically cut out the eyes and make sure they're big enough. Obviously make sure the person who's going to be wearing the mask can see. So we've finished with the sponge. We've put that to one side. Next thing we want to do is to do the nose and the face. So do a nice, colour in a nice black there. Oops. And just go around like that. Make it look like a lion, dot, 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 dot. My son, who made this one, put some whiskers on, so we can do that, or you can colour it in, whichever way. And so once you've done that, we put the ears on. So my son had a brilliant idea. He took whatever it is you're using, whether it's the bowl or the plate, and he just went round the top like that, and then created the right size of the ear by doing that. I thought that was a brilliant idea. You could just do one and then have them exactly the same shape as well. But that's one way of doing the ears. And like I say, if you haven't got yellow paper, just use Sharpie like I did. You colour it in like that. That'll be lovely. But I've just done some earlier. And two ways, you can stick it on with sellotape or glue, or if you're brave, you can use a stapler. And just remember that whichever way is going to be on the body, you have the nice bit. Okay, I've just refilled my stapler, so now it's going to work. As I say, make sure the nice bit of the staple is facing the inside, so which will be touching the face. Extra sort of safety would be, and if you are going to use a stapler, would be a bit of sellotape, I suppose, so that nobody gets hurt. But of course you could just use sellotape or glue. And then I'll put the other ear on there. Again, staple it that way round, and as I say, safety, let's put a bit of sellotape on, make it more comfortable. Okay, so now this is the fun part where we just get to stick on all of these bits of paper. And so I need my glue, and you just put lots of glue around here. I'm using Pritt Stick, but it might be better to have a more liquidy glue. And or you could just double back some sellotape, whatever you've got to make it stick. Just put lots of, be nice and generous there. And now we just stick. It doesn't matter these shapes, it doesn't matter what shapes and sizes they are. Just I go and put the yellow on first, leaving perhaps a few gaps as you go round, like that, and just keep going round. That covers up the sellotape stapler nicely as well. Oops, I didn't leave much of a gap there, so I'll put one there, and you keep going round with the yellow, and when you've done all around, you go round again with the red, and so on, and you keep going. And then when you've done all the red, you can, and what tends to happen is you've used up all the glue then when you've got all the red around. So what you'll need to do is, when you go around with the orange, you'll need to pop a little bit of glue on to get the orange on top, obviously creating this really cool mane. So I think actually the more raggedy it looks is the better. Oh, that's a red one there. Put that one there. There we go. You can see how it looks, really starting to look really cool. Now they suggest that you can use wool or string, obviously to hold this mask on a person's face. Obviously the best thing to do is have elastic, which I didn't have. So you need to cut it to the size you want, and with this one I stapled it to the back. Again, you might not prefer that because it's going near someone's face, so I actually used a hole punch on this card, and I did find the card much easier to work with, so I just hole punched. And if you are going to hole punch, it might be easier to do it before you actually glue these on, so you don't see the hole, but you have hole punches on there, and then you add the string to the back. Obviously you just need to cut it to size. When I'm using wool, it was just 2 bits of wool, and then did a little bow at the back. So there we have it. There is your lion.